Hey everyone, and welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the PNC Cash Unlimited Visa Signature Credit Card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive a few free stocks, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Webull will be sending you a few free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this card, first off, we're going to be talking about cashback and how you can earn it. So across the board, on every single transaction, you will be earning an unlimited 2% cashback. So it doesn't matter whether you spend 1 penny per year or $10 million per year, on every single transaction, you will be earning 2% cashback. So it's pretty simple. They don't have any special categories. Doesn't matter what you spend on, what website you go to, or what retailer you go to, you will be earning 2% cash back. Now with this card, unfortunately, there is no spend bonus with it. So like with other credit cards out there on the market, you might have to spend, like, let's say $1,000 within the first 3 months. And if you do so, in return, you will be earning a spend bonus of $200. Unfortunately, with this credit card, at this time at least, they are not offering any type of spend bonus. Now, as far as redeeming your cash back with this card, you will have a few different options. So your first option is to direct deposit your cash back into any eligible PNC account, like a checking or savings account. You can also redeem it as a statement credit for gift cards or for travel. Now, on top of that, you're also going to be receiving some other benefits with this card as well. So just for instance, you are going to be receiving a 0% introductory APR on purchases for the first 12 billing cycles. So perhaps if you have to make a lot of larger transactions coming up and you don't have the money readily available sitting around to pay them off right away, and these are transactions that you absolutely have to make, so unfortunately you do have to put them on a credit card, you could consider using this card, and for the first 12 billing cycles you will not have to pay any interest. However, after the first 12 months are up, you will definitely want to make sure that this card is paid off in full, because after the first 12 months are up, your interest rate is going to shoot all the way up, which we are going to dive into in just a little bit later. Now, on top of that, you're also going to have a 0% introductory APR on balance transfers as well for the first 12 months. So perhaps if you have another credit card out there right now where you have a pretty high balance on it, and you're also paying a pretty high interest rate, and every single month you're paying hundreds of dollars of interest on it, you could always consider transferring the balance from that card over to this card. That way you're no longer paying all the interest on your other credit card. And with this card, for the first 12 months, you will also have a 0% interest rate on the balance transfer. However, just like the purchases, you will definitely want to make sure to pay that balance off in full in your balance transfer, because after the first 12 months are up, your interest rate at that point in time is going to shoot all the way up. And then at that point, you'll be right back at square one, like with your other card, where you're once again paying all the interest on a month-to-month basis. Now, on top of that, there are also not going to be any caps on cash back that you earn. So once again, you can spend like $20 million per year and you're still going to be earning 2% cash back. So there's not going to be any caps on that. There's also not going to be any cash back expiration dates to worry about, and no minimum redemption. So it doesn't matter whether you have 1 penny in cash back or $20 million in cash back. You can even redeem as little as 1 penny in your cash back, and your cash back rewards also don't expire, so you can let them accumulate. There's not going to be any rush. With some other credit cards out there, unfortunately, your cash back rewards will expire after like 1 year or something like that. With this card, you do not have to worry about that. Then on top of that, there's also not going to be any foreign transaction fees with this card. So if you happen to travel internationally, you can continue to use this card because you won't be hit with any extra foreign transaction fees. With other cards out there, unfortunately, you can see foreign transaction fees of right around 3%. And then there's also not going to be any quarterly activations or purchase categories to track. This could also be a bad thing, because with other cards out there, they might have like certain categories where you can actually earn like 3, 4, or even 5% cash back. With this card, across all the categories, it's pretty simple, 2% cash back. So I guess that could be good in a way where you don't really have to think like, which credit card should I use for gas, or which credit card should I use at restaurants, or grocery stores or anything like that. It keeps it simple, 2% cash back across the board. Now with this card, there's also going to be some other perks as well. So you're going to be earning $800 of cell phone protection if your cell phone is stolen or damaged, as long as you pay your monthly cell phone bill with this credit card. You're also going to be receiving zero liability fraud protection. So if your credit card falls out of your wallet, unfortunately, and someone picks it up and spends hundreds or even thousands of dollars on it, you will not be held liable for those charges. Therefore, you will not have to pay for them because you did not authorize for those charges to be made. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving purchase security. So if an eligible item you bought is stolen or damaged due to covered circumstances, within 90 days, the item can be repaired, replaced, or reimbursed. So that's definitely a good thing as well. So now that we went over the main features of this card, at this point in time, you're going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out, once again, your purchase APR for the first 12 months is going to be 0%. So once again, if you have a lot of larger transactions coming up, you could consider getting this card to throw those transactions on this card. And once again, for the first 12 months, you will have a 0% introductory APR. However, for those 12 months or up, you will definitely want to make sure that this balance is paid off completely, because after the first 12 months are up, your APR is then going to shoot up to anywhere between 19.24 to 30.24% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, once again, for the first 12 months, you are going to have a 0% introductory APR on the balance transfers. This could definitely be something good to take advantage of as well. But once again, just like the purchases, you will want to make sure that your balance is paid off in full, because after the first 12 months are up, just like your purchase APR, that is going to shoot all the way up to anywhere between 19.24 to 30.24% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This of course should not be considered financial advice, just my personal reasons. Usually there's a very high interest rate on cash advances, plus you're going to be paying a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance, just know that your APR on those is going to be a whopping 30.24%, plus a lot of fees as well, which we are going to dive into right now. So as far as the fees go on the cash advances, you're going to be paying a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as balance transfers go, even though you are going to have a 0% introductory APR for the first 12 months, you still have to pay a fee though. The fee on each balance transfer is going to be 3%. So in the case that you do a balance transfer of $1,000, in that case, there is going to be a fee of $30. Then on top of that, as far as foreign transaction fees go, like I mentioned just a moment ago, with this card, you can definitely take it outside the country and continue to use it without worrying about paying any extra fees. So that's definitely a benefit as well. Then as far as late or return payments go, if you happen to pay late or have a return payment, there is going to be a fee for those for up to $38. Now, if you do happen to pay late for the first, perhaps even second time, you could always try calling into PNC Bank to see if they will waive that fee. They might be able to for the first or even second time, but after that, I would definitely recommend setting up auto pay, marking your calendars, do whatever you have to do. Make sure that you are paying on time. That way you're not having to pay all those extra fees, and in this case being a fee of up to $38. Then finally, as far as the annual fee goes, this is definitely a good thing about this card because there is no annual fee. Makes it definitely a pretty good benefit because you don't have to sit around and consider every single year whether or not this card is worth keeping, because with this card, once again, there is no annual fee. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this card. So we are going to start out with the good things. The first good thing, of course, is the fact that you are going to be earning an unlimited 2% cash back across the board. So it's pretty simplistic. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. Then on top of that, you're also going to have a 0% introductory APR on both purchases and balance transfers for the first 12 months as well. This is definitely a pretty good benefit as well. And then finally, if you happen to travel abroad, this is a card that you can take with you because you will not be hit with any foreign transaction fees. So those are the best things about this card. As far as the biggest drawbacks go, the first big drawback is the fact that there is no spend bonus with this card. This is incredibly unfortunate because with most other credit cards out there on the market, you can earn at least some type of spend bonus, whether it be at least $100 or $200. With this card, unfortunately, there is no spend bonus. That is definitely a big drawback, at least in my eyes. And then finally, there are also no special spend categories. It is 2% cash back across the board, which is definitely a good thing, but it would also be nice if they had like a special category that's say like 3% cash back on gas, 3% cash back at restaurants, or 3% cash back on groceries, or even a 4 or 5% cash back category. But with this card, it's 2% cash back across the board. I'm not complaining, but it would be nice if they had at least one or perhaps even two special categories, especially considering they do not have a spend bonus. So just to sum things up here, all in all, even though it is a pretty good credit card to have, you are going to be earning 2% cash back across the board, which is a pretty good in cash back across the board speaking. But the very fact that they do not offer a spend bonus will probably have to be a pass for me at least. And instead, you might actually want to consider looking into another credit card called the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. With that one, they also offer 2% cash back across the board. They offer a 0% introductory APR on both purchases and balance transfers. And with that card, they actually do offer a spend bonus of $200 as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 3 months. If you are interested in listening to a review about that credit card, I will go ahead and link it up on the screen. But that's all we have for this review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.